At CapEd, it's more than banking, it's making a difference. The holiday season means an uptick in shopping, increasing our risk for financial fraud and compromising banking security. So that's why we have CapEd and the Boise Police Department both joining us to explain how you can protect yourself against fraud and scams. And a warm welcome to both Chase and Brad, or Chance and Brad. Thank you guys for being here. All right, so first of all, let's talk about fraud awareness. Incredibly important all year long,
Absolutely.
Especially right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Fraud awareness and education is critical. Anyone can be a victim of a scam. And so, I tell everyone that fraudsters, they're always updating their techniques and they're masters in their game. Mm-hmm. And so they're trying to stay one step ahead of the game. So it's, education is the best defense. The more people are aware, the better they have of not being a victim of the scam.
Yeah, and I think too that it's constantly changing so fast and so much. Like you said, they're trying to be on top of their game, that even if you think you're informed, you're probably not. So it's always good to keep re-educating yourself about the next approach, right? What are some of the most common types of fraud that you see people become victim to?
The biggest category for fraud is imposter fraud. So essentially, scammers, fraudsters love to pose as somebody that you would trust, like Amazon or Netflix or CapEd or the Boise Police Department, and call you pretending to be them, spoof their number so that it looks like it's them, and then try to get you to trust enough to give money or fear that you're losing your money. Somehow it's all about them financially impacting you and obtaining your money.
And what about maybe even just obtaining private information that then gives them access to something?
Oh, absolutely. Access to their computer, access to their personal information so they can open accounts. Yeah, it's a trillion-dollar industry, and it's constant.
Yeah, who would you say is most at risk to being targeted by something like this?
So I think there's an idea that the, say, elderly would be the most, but in all reality, it's everybody.
Yes.
It's from, I've had 12-year-old victims to 90-year-old victims.
Yes.
And so there's a scam for everybody, there's a fraud for everybody. The elderly have more money, so they lose more money. But the most targeted are probably your 20-year-olds because they're online more.
Yes.
So, yeah, you just have to be vigilant all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you had mentioned, they're getting so good, especially when it comes to trying to mimic those trusted sources that we think we know. Sometimes they even can pose as somebody that we know, that we're like, oh, hey, what's up? And you don't even think twice about the text that you got. And then you click a link and uh-oh. Right?
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But I thought it was Bob, but it was not Bob. Okay, so what are a few steps that people can take then to make sure that they're protecting themselves, especially as we enter into the busy shopping season, right? Our attention is down. We're moving quick, we're moving fast, we're probably ordering things online, we're getting text alerts saying that something's in the mail and on the way, or that the UPS package isn't gonna be delivered, right? So all of a sudden we're moving fast. What do we do though to make sure that we're not making ourselves vulnerable to these scams?
Yeah, monitoring your accounts for transactions that might be unusual or out of a pattern, and reporting any fraudulent transactions immediately to your financial institution so they can help. You securing all your passwords and choosing different passwords for different websites. If you have the same password for every site, it's easier to kind of get hacked that way. Making sure your security devices the security on your devices are completely up to date on your phones, tablets, computers. That way it makes it a little bit harder for the fraudsters to get access. And then trusting your financial institution. We see a lot of times where we do ask questions, additional questions, and it might feel a little bit imposing to the consumer, but we're here to protect you. We see the fraud on the daily, so trust us when we're asking those questions because we're here to protect you.
Yeah, and sometimes fraud scams, they try to pose, like you had said, like CapEd, right? So if someone has an account, if in doubt, should we just hang up and call you directly?
Correct, yes.
With the source that we know is you?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So just always go to the main source.
Absolutely.
Okay. So how do people find out more about this?
You can go to our website, capedcu.com, and you can register for our upcoming class or get some more information.
Great. So you have an upcoming class where people can learn more about this and be better prepared and informed.
Yep, we do.
Okay. And again, where do they go one more time?
capedcu.com.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.